Synergy Income Fund today reporting full-year distributions of 82.66 cents per Synergy A-linked unit. That up 5%. Distributions to Synergy B-linked unit holders of 51.38 cents per share. That up by 78%. We've got William Brooks, CEO of Synergy Income Fund, joining us at the desk for a breakdown of the performance. Thanks for joining us today. So, I mean, Synergy A and Synergy B, they're just different risk-reward profiles there. But overall, when it comes to distribution growth, because Synergy A is 5% as it stands, Synergy B gets the rest of the distribution. That was up 78%. What is that mainly attributed to, that growth there?
Thanks, Samantha. The growth story is really as a result of the acquisitions that we put in place in the last financial year, and that this year we were able to start the year with 12 shopping centres, on balance sheet at the beginning of the year, and then an additional 2 shopping centres came onto the balance sheet very shortly thereafter. So we had a full year of portfolio performance on pretty much 14 shopping centres. So that really explains the significant growth in top-line earnings as well as in distributable earnings.
I mean, let's talk about the strategy here, because you're looking at medium-sized community and small regional shopping centres in high growth nodes. Does that mean that your portfolio fits into that category right now? And tell us about the decision to get smaller shopping centres on balance sheet right now.
Samantha, we started the portfolio back in December of 2011 with only 3 relatively small shopping centres. In 2012, the acquisitions that we made were typically larger centres, and now we have 5 reasonably large centres in the 20,000 square metres of GLA size, and a 6th large centre coming on balance sheet in a few weeks' time. So our
Atlantis City Shopping Centre.
Correct. Our portfolio has shifted from the smaller, typically convenience type of shopping centres to the more larger community and regional shopping centres, which dominate our portfolio now.
So there's been that shift, and you also talk about getting national tenants on board, and you've got a target there of 85% when it comes to this, and you're also talking about the fact that you've been able to retain or improve your tenant retention ratio during the period. But tell us why it's so important to have these national tenants as a property company.
Well, the quality of your lease book is really a function of the percentage of national tenants that you have in that book. We set ourselves a target of 85% national at the beginning of the financial year. At that point, we were sitting at 81% national in our portfolio. At the end of this financial year, we've increased the national tenant ratio to 86%. So achieved a significant improvement in the quality of our tenancy. And
tenant retention ratio, as I was saying, sitting at around 88% right now. But which ones are the ones that you had to say goodbye to during the period? Any ones that you're kind of disappointed about?
No, not necessarily. We acquired these centres from other owners. Many of these centres had not been particularly actively managed in the past, so there was a certain amount of attrition that we wanted to facilitate during the course of the year. But increasing the national tenant ratio and keeping the tenants that we want to keep with a high retention ratio is really the fundamentals of this operating performance.
But talk to us about the environment. When you're talking about retail right now, we just saw South African consumers very much in debt, concerns around the impact that this is going to have on spending in South Africa. Is that going to limit your ability to be able to pass on costs, to be able to escalate rentals in your property portfolio?
Well, it's a very challenging operating environment. It's been a challenging operating environment for some time now, and it continues to be very challenging. Having said that, our portfolio is very concentrated on the lower LSM space, the growing demographic in South Africa, where, yes, trading densities have come off, We've heard lots of evidence and seen lots of evidence of trading densities coming down with many of the national retailer groups, but it continues to be the area that the national retailer groups are focused on. It's the growth demographic in South Africa, and we haven't seen any major attrition in our portfolio. We haven't seen tenant failures or large-scale problems with tenants in our portfolio. So overall, we're very happy with the quality of the tenant base that we've got and ultimately the quality of the revenue streams.